Hey church, it's so great to be speaking with you this morning. I just love the passage that Becca has just read to us from Acts 2, and that is the birth of the church. That's the start when the church gets going, it gets moving, and it becomes about kingdom community, the followers of Jesus creating that kingdom community. And I love how the Holy Spirit enters in to this world. It's unapologetic and unashamed of what it's about, and it comes in and it changes the room that the disciples are meeting, and then it overflows into the streets. And Peter's reaction is just incredible to the Holy Spirit. And we know that before this he's denied Jesus. His self-esteem's at an all-time low. However, he encounters the Holy Spirit, and he's filled with this courage, this boldness, this authority in the words that he speaks. And he goes out into the street and he's preaching, he's telling people about the good news, he's telling people about Jesus, and people are listening because he's encountered the Holy Spirit, and the Holy Spirit is flowing through him. And in that room, the Holy Spirit was described as a gale force wind, a wildfire. And I love those descriptions. It paints such a picture in the mind, and it's just like these are, forces of nature that are uncontrollable, uncontainable, and that's what it's like with the Holy Spirit. They're uncontainable. The Holy Spirit is uncontainable and uncontrollable. And what's amazing is we have access to that same Spirit. We have access to the Holy Spirit that is like that. And what's amazing is, in this climate, COVID-19, we still have access to the Holy Spirit. Sometimes we find ourselves relying on our own strength or the strength of our politicians, our government, to get through this time, when really as the church we have an opportunity to rely on this uncontainable gift that we've got from God, the Holy Spirit, to give us the strength and to give us the boldness to keep going, but also to see God move. And the Holy Spirit isn't this thing that's just set aside for a Sunday service when Oceans is just blaring out and we're all in that worshipful state. It's not just that tingly moment. It's not just about that feeling that you get on a Sunday, but it's for more than that. The Holy Spirit was sent just for a time like this, where there's fear, where there's concern, where there's maybe some panic, just as much as it was sent for the times where there's joy and peace. This is a time where people can still come to know Jesus. This is a time where people can still receive healing. This is a time where people can still see miracles happen in their lives, all because of the Holy Spirit. The Holy Spirit does not stop because of COVID-19. It keeps going. And this is a time for the church to be filled with the Holy Spirit, so we can speak out in boldness and full of courage against the injustices of this world, and to speak out in love against those things. And people will listen. People listened to Peter when he was speaking out the good news of Jesus, because he was filled with the Holy Spirit. And in the passage that Becca just read to us, Peter is speaking to a whole group of people that weren't from that place. They were from all over, and they didn't all speak the same language. But what was amazing is Peter was speaking, and people understood. People understood the message of what Peter was saying, and people chose to follow Jesus. And we're called now to be speaking in love and the reality of God in our communities, so that people can, people will understand and come to know who God is. And it's a language that we can all understand, love. So whether it's personally, locally, nationally, or internationally, I pray that you would see the presence of God, His Holy Spirit move, just like at Pentecost. And I pray the Holy Spirit not only changes your world, but the world of those around you and in the community around you.